Now, folks, can you believe that since 2011 we've had 22 official UFC cards on Fox now? Wow, I didn't know we had that many, but time flies when you're putting on disappointing semi-annual events. All right, so I don't normally cover the UFC on Fox shows because, frankly, there's lackluster. But the one we have at the end of the year, it's historically important because we got a couple of guys who are retiring, and there should be some pretty interesting matchups on the main card. And this really, it's kind of a made-for-TV card because you have a lot of young up-and-comers, and the main event is like total sensationalism. I mean, it really is like a Clash of the Champions card from like WCW circa 1991. Like, they're not even trying to be like legitimate anymore. It's just about giving you the most entertaining made-for-TV product possible. And I, for one, love it. I love it when they go out like this. All right, so I'm just going to give you my quick thoughts on the four main event matchups. I'm going to run down the prelims and give you very, very, very brief quick picks on that. Nothing in depth. So let's start off with the main event. We've got Paige VanZant taking on Michelle Waterson. And this fight right here, this fight, I mean, let's don't even like pretend that it has any relevancy. I mean, whoever wins this match is not getting a title shot for at least like a year and a half. So it has no implications on the horizon. The reason why this match exists is because, let's face it, guys, back me up on this. The two fighters are very, very camera friendly, so to speak. And, I got to admit, this is one of those fights where, looking at the main page, you're kind of hoping that maybe this will be the first fight in UFC history where the fighters all of a sudden start making out. I'm just saying, it would be unprecedented, but I think it would be a very historical moment, and I think it would be great for ratings. Not saying that should happen, but if it did, I, for one, would not complain. All right, VanZant taking on Waterson. Nickname is 12 Gauge VanZant taking on the Karate Hottie. So that should give you an idea of the kind of stuff we're doing. We're basically doing like a WWE Divas match in the Octagon. That's what this is. It's totally fantastic. So, running down the stats, not that you care. We're not doing the measurements you want to know either, so sorry. Let's see, we got the height, negligible. Reach, 3-inch advantage for VanZant. Leg reach, 2-inch for VanZant. Significant strikes landed per minute favors VanZant. Accuracy goes towards Waterson. Strikes absorbed per minute, huge advantage for Waterson. Defense favors Waterson. So better defensive striker goes to Waterson. Better offensive striker, though, you might want to go for VanZant. So grappling, huge discrepancy. 1.8 for VanZant, 2.86 for Waterson. Takedown accuracy, Waterson, never been taken down in her professional UFC career. She has been taken down, but none of her takedowns have been stuffed. So that's a huge thing. Takedowns defended favors Waterson, and submission average, 2.86 per 15-minute round fight, 3-round fight, that is, for Waterson, and 0.9 for VanZant. Okay, so you're kind of seeing some things early. You're seeing that there might be a slight favor towards VanZant as far as the stand-up game because she gets off a lot of punches. But Waterson is also a little bit better defensively against striking, and her grappling is way better than VanZant's. So naturally, I'm inclined to believe that Waterson can control this fight with a takedown. I think she goes in there, they trade and bang early. Then Waterson takes her down and just kind of grounds her out for the first couple of rounds. And then I think by the third round, that's when she starts going to submissions. And I think she ends up getting one late in the third. Let's call it Waterson third round submission. Just got a feeling. Could be a surprisingly good little matchup, though. I mean, it's everything you want. It's technical striking versus technical takedowns. And submission potentials everywhere and knockout potential everywhere. It's going to be entertaining. That's one of the reasons why I'm tuning in, and I normally don't watch this stuff. And speaking of great made-for-TV matches, holy crap, Sage Northcutt versus Mickey Gall. This is fantastic. This is one of those things where just for like the post-fight alone, I'm tuning into my local Fox affiliate. So, Sage Northcutt, we know this guy. He's the guy who's like the Tim Tebow of the UFC. Very young, very talented guy, knows karate, got really good kicks. He lost to, what's that guy's name? Barberina, is that the guy's last name? And he had that really awesome fight at UFC 200 where he almost got tapped, but he managed to weather the storm. So, I mean, he puts on very, very entertaining matches. And, of course, Mickey Gall, a man who is legendary for ruining CM Punk's life at UFC 203, 204, one of those. So this is going to be a great, great, great fight. This is huge. This is like, kind of surprised you're going to see these two guys fight this early in their career. But I expect good things out of both these guys. So, what we got here? Height, 2-inch advantage for Gall. Reach advantage, 74 inches for Gall. Leg reach, 1-inch advantage for Gall. Significant strikes per minute. Now, it's very heavily favored towards Gall, 7.37. But, of course, that's because he hit CM Punk 45 million times in that one fight. So that kind of makes it a little less representative of his total professional oeuvre. Accuracy, slight tilt towards Gall. Strikes absorbed per minute, slight advantage for Gall. Defense favors Gall. Takedown average per fight, 503 for Gall, 202 for Northcutt. Takedown accuracy, 100% for Gall. Takedowns defended, 46-15% for Northcutt. No one's attempted to take down Gall. That's interesting. That could be a big variable in this matchup. And this is absolutely freaking insane. I've never seen this before in all my years of predicting MMA fights. The submission average per fight for Sage Northcutt is 1.01. The one for Mickey Gall, 15.08. I have never seen a submission average that high. So, wow, that's crazy. So, yeah, like I said, this is going to be a really interesting, entertaining little matchup. And I think I'm going to favor Gall to win this fight, but it all hinges on how good Northcutt's takedown defense is. Because both these guys can strike, and I mean, really, Northcutt could, knock this dude out with one punch. I mean, it could happen. But I think Mickey Gall, he's just better striking, he's better defending, he's got better takedowns. I think he goes in there. I think he takes Northcutt down, and much to Dana White's chagrin, I think Gall pounds him out in the first round. So I'm going with Gall, TKO victory, round number 1. All right, and here's why this card, another reason why you should watch it, because it's very historic. It's Uriah Faber's last fight. The dude who is pretty much more responsible for anyone than putting featherweight fighting on the map, his last fight ever. So you got to watch it. Hopefully he gets to ride off in the sunset with victory here. He's taking on Brad Pickett, who's not ranked, so kind of what's going to expect to happen here. So, look at the stats real quick. Dead even heights, reaching for the arms and legs, completely the same. Significant strikes landed per minute, slight tilt towards Pickett. Accuracy favors Faber. Strikes absorbed per minute favors Faber. Defense favors Faber. Takedown average 2.62 is a little bit higher for Pickett. Takedown accuracy favors Pickett. Takedowns defended, dead even. Submission average is pretty much dead even. So I'm not saying this fight is kind of engineered to favor Faber, but it is. I think Faber goes in there and he gets off some really good punches early. I think it's going to last at least 2 rounds, but I think by then Faber goes in there, he drops Pickett, and he just tears him apart on the ground for a second round stoppage victory. Uriah Faber's final fight ever. It will be a W. It will be by TKO, and it's going to be in the second round. All right, and adding to the strike forciness of tonight's show, which I love, we've got Alan Juban taking on Mike Platinum Perry. Now, Mike Platinum Perry is a dude who's knocked out, brutal knockout, 2 dudes over the course the last 5 months. So I think this is his 3rd fight since UFC 201, 202, one of those. I mean, he's been fighting very, very, very regularly. And Alan Juban, the dude's pretty much past his prime, so this is basically a sacrificial fight. Alan Juban is being sacrificed on live national television to the Mike Perry, rookie sensation, and it's going to be awesome. I can run down the stats here, nothing really matter, because Mike Perry's going to win this fight. And he's going to win it by a brutal knockout, TKO, something like that. Juban is not going to make it past the first round. Mike Perry wins by an entirely new way of winning a fight. Absolute decimation of an opponent. Round 1. It's going to be great. So yeah, just go with Perry to win first round, knockout, stoppage, devastation, whatever. So yeah, all that. This should be a really, really entertaining little card. I'm definitely in favor of watching this. This is actually better than like I think UFC 206. I'd rather pay money to watch this than I would the show the UFC actually want me to pay money to see. So there's that. All right, and real quick, going down the prelims. I'm not even going to bother you with any deep stats. Just going with my fly by the seat of the pants predictions. All right, on FS1 we got Henrique Da Silva taking on Paul Craig. Da Silva's nickname is Frankenstein. Paul Craig's nickname is Bear Jew, even though he's from Scotland. I'm going to go with Frankenstein to win this one. We also got Cole Miller, who looks like, oh my God, he needs to eat something. Woo, this guy looks like, oh my God, what's his name? He looks like the guy who played Batman. Christian Bale in The Machinist. He just looks, God, wow, that's bad. Taking on Mizuto Hirota. I'm going to go with Marotta because Cole Miller looks like he's about to pass out from not having enough nutrition. Brian Barberina, the guy who knocked out Sage Northcutt, is fighting on this show on the undercard. Wow, that's crazy. Taking on Colby Covington. Well, I'm going to go with Barberina to win that one. I didn't realize that until just now. It's crazy. We got James Montessori taking on Alex Morano. This is a great nickname. James Montessoro is nicknamed the Moonwalker, and he appears to be kind of the Asian persuasion, even though his home country is Germany. Taking on Alex Morano, whose nickname is the Great White. So, hooray for unfortunate racial implications. Anyway, I'm going to go with Morano because he looks like a dude who just got out of prison. That's the way I pick fights now. Josh Emmett taking on Scott Holtzman. Holtzman's nickname is Hot Sauce. Emmett doesn't have a nickname yet. Josh Emmett kind of looks like GSP if GSP was a crackhead. And he's one of those guys that has like the full body tattoo, like an entire like page of a book written right here on his arm. So for that alone, he's going to lose. I'm going with Hot Sauce. What else we got here? We got Leslie Smith, the Peacemaker, taking on Irene Aldana. Aldana doesn't have a photo up yet, so I'm going to go with Smith to win that one. And my prelim fights, nothing anyone cares, but we do it just to be completist. Eddie Wineland taking on Takaya Mizugaki. I'm going to go with Mizugaki. Hector Sandoval taking on Freddie Serrano, who's from Colombia, taking on a Mexican fighter. I'm going to go with Serrano. And in our curtain jerker, we've got Sultan Aliyev taking on Bojan Velisevich. I'm going to go with Sultan Ali because he's Russian and his first name is Sultan. Because hooray for multiculturalism. All right, so there you go. This looks like it's going to be one of the most entertaining made-for-TV cards UFC has done in a long time. So I'm going to be tuning in for it, and you probably should be too. There's going to be some great stuff coming up. I'll be seeing you cage side, folks, and I'll be seeing you at UFC 207 in a couple of days too. So don't get all your fighting energy out over one weekend because we still got at least one more card to go through. All right, folks. See you soon.